Long Island Sound, the American Mediterranean, a playground for the region, and a natural resource. 90 miles long and at some points, almost 20 miles wide, the Sound is a source of wonder and of life. People come to its shores to dream and to take on challenges. On clear days like this one, you can see across and believe in bigger things. The top international marathon swimmers have assembled in Bridgeport to take on this unique challenge. The first ever non-stop international marathon swim across the Sound. They're also participating in another race, the race against cancer in Fairfield County. They come from every corner of the globe, and they are the best marathoners in the world. Shelley Taylor-Smith of Australia, top female marathoner in international competition. Chad Hundeby of Irvine, California, reigning 25K World and Pan-Pacific champion. Craig Streppel of British Columbia, Canada's best marathoner. Claudio Plit of Argentina, winner of more marathons than any swimmer in history. Degano of Argentina, of more marathons than any swimmer in history. Degano of Argentina, top swimmer in the 1992 International Marathon Tour. Karen Burton of Colorado, top woman swimmer in the U.S. David Alleva of Virginia, 13th ranked male marathon swimmer in the world. Annie Granison of Quebec, Canada's top woman swimmer. Marianne Cassidy, University of Pittsburgh swim coach and second ranked woman swimmer in the world. And Silvia Dalotto of Argentina, 7th ranked female swimmer in the world. The race begins. The clear skies gives no warning of the difficult swim ahead. 30-knot winds whip up waves over 6 feet, and the start from Port Jefferson is a wild one. High waves flood the guideboat of top female swimmer Shelley Taylor-Smith. She must go the early part of the race alone on the open waters without nourishment or her coach. Last year's champion, Degano, struggles in the rough waters and falls well behind the other swimmers. The swimmers work to get their race on course in the turbulent Sound. Marathon swimmer Claudio Plit knows the hazards.
Anything could happen in a marathon swim, so you have to be ready. Who knows, the waves, the tides, maybe some cold water, jellyfish. That's marathon swimming is.
Hundreds who are not marathon swimmers join in the race against cancer at the annual St. Vincent Swimathon. They the race against cancer at the annual St. Vincent Swimathon. They accept the challenge in their own way. Each has a fundraising and a personal goal. Swimathon Chairman Ray Giovanni.
As we've heard so often, many people do this event in memory of someone that they dearly love. And in my family, we've been stricken with this cancer, and that's what keeps me going.
I have a brother-in-law who is very, very ill with colon cancer.
I myself, my grandfather was just diagnosed with lung cancer.
My cousin's 13-year-old was just diagnosed with cancer.
I had a family member that died from cancer.
I lost my dad to cancer 8 years ago.
For 24 hours, people of all ages come out to the Fairfield University Recplex pool to swim their laps and raise a record-breaking $58,000 for St. Vincent's Cancer Prevention Program. Radio station WICC's popular morning personality, John LaBarca, helped to raise $5,000 over the year and brought his personal commitment to the swim.
People make it happen. If I could spread the word and get other people to get involved, I have such a sense of not only worth but satisfaction that I've actually made a difference.
But there's one person missing from this year's swimathon. Adam Krieger raised $25,000 in 3 previous swimathons and inspired all of us when he created a team of cancer patients and issued a corporate challenge to area businesses. The 20-year-old from Trumbull lost his own battle with cancer 2 days before this year's swimathon, but he left us all a legacy.
Well,
For this year's swimathon, but he left us all a legacy.
Well, I've always said that Adam was one of my personal heroes in terms of, for such a young man, the level of maturity, the type decisions he made in his own life. If there's a word to describe that kid, it'd be he's a warrior.
The town of Trumbull, led by First Selectman Dave Wilson, entered a team in his memory. It was a moment to remember.
And whereas we admire all Adam's demonstration that cancer is not an excuse for giving up on life.
Back on Long Island Sound, the marathon swimmers continue to struggle in the rough waters, but the race begins to take shape. International swim executive Roger Parsons describes the challenge the swimmers have in front of them for the duration.
The interesting thing will be the decision of the coaches into the actual line they will take. Some of the swimmers will want to try and stay on a mean track heading to the finish. Others, the stronger swimmers, will no doubt allow themselves to be washed slightly down the course, away from the course, and make that up during slack water and the very weak incoming tide.
2 hours into the race, Chad Hundeby, nicknamed the American Express by the other swimmers, is out in front, followed by Canada's best Greg Streppel, just back from leading his team in the Pan Pacific Games. And it seems the whole Sound is watching, from land, sea, and in the air. Toward midpoint, the wind has not let up, and the swimmers must reach deep into themselves to finish. It creates a bond with all those who are challenged. Shelley Taylor-Smith knows the impact cancer has had on her own family.
I lost my father to lung cancer when I was only 15 years of age.
Cancer has had on her own family.
I lost my father to lung cancer when I was only 15 years of age, and that had such a major impact on my life.
More than 4 hours into the swim, Canadian Greg Streppel makes his move. He challenges Hundeby, and they begin to trade places for the lead. Streppel puts everything he has into the race.
We train hours and hours and hours for these races, and what keeps me going is wanting to make the most of all those hours that I put into it. You know, if I ever gave up in a race, it would be like throwing away not only those hours of the race, but all those other hours, all those weeks and months that I spent training for the race.
Back at Captain's Cove Seaport, spectators wait for the finish aboard the Mr. Lucky and on the piers draped with the flags from many nations. It's been a festive day to celebrate the Sound, as well as the swimmers. As the swimmers and their lead boats come into sight, the enthusiasm builds. Streppel puts on his final push as they enter Black Rock Harbor and the final mile. Hundeby won't budge. He opens up a lead of several yards and continues to widen it. He swims along the Red Zodiac with the same steady, flawless strokes he has used for almost 6 hours. The American finishes the 15-mile swim in 5 hours and 56 minutes. That's a remarkable 78 to 84 strokes per minute all the way across.
It's taken many years of hard work. I mean, I've been doing marathon swimming since 1989. So, I mean, it takes a few years to learn how to do it, and once you do, you just kind of get stuck on it.
Streppel finishes a minute behind him. He gave it all he had. Shelley Taylor-Smith. Streppel finishes a minute behind him. He gave it all he had. Shelley Taylor-Smith, a crowd favorite, is the first woman to finish. She shows why she's a champion. The swimmers finish. Each has won a personal victory. The last swimmer, Silvia Dalotto of Argentina, has been in the water almost 8 hours and finishes 2 hours behind the winner. But she has won a victory of her own. She has completed the race. The swimmers have achieved their goals, and so has the swim across the Sound. The tally shows $192,000 raised for St. Vincent's cancer screening and prevention programs. Thousands of people around Fairfield County will share in this victory, but there is unfinished business. Adam Krieger will not be forgotten, nor the meaning of his struggle. We'll always remember his courage in the 91 swim, his determination to live every day and to make a difference, his challenge.
When you have a chance, and you've got a chance to do something on your own, or to take an opportunity, don't wait. Just go out and do it. Just do everything you can, because whether your time is limited or not, every day is worth it.
Today, other young cancer survivors like Corey Mosier and Michael Murray have stepped forward along with so many others in Adam's name and will continue his work. It's been a remarkable day, a race as far as the eye can see. The swimmers have crossed the expanse of Long Island Sound and widened our own horizons. They have shown us we can take on bigger challenges. Because the swim across the Sound They have shown us we can take on bigger challenges. Because the swim across the Sound is no ordinary race, there's nothing else like it. The greatest marathon swimmers in the world have come for the challenge and the cause.
Moments that keep you in your mind for always.
The 1993 Swim Across the Sound.